cool. I feel bad for Eric having to go all the way over there, but obviously they made a great move on the last lap there. Joey and I were kind of sitting ducks with the middle lane fading there, and no, obviously we had really fast discount tire Ford Mustang. Super proud of my team. And
NASCAR is once again facing criticism from drivers. This time, the controversy centers around Austin Cindric and whether he should have been suspended for intentionally wrecking Ty Dillon at Circuit of the Americas. Many believe NASCAR's decision was inconsistent, especially when compared to past penalties for similar incidents. But what exactly happened, and how are drivers reacting to it? Well, let's find out in today's episode. Kevin Harvick has made it very clear that he is not happy with NASCAR's decision regarding Austin Cindric. He believes Cindric should have been suspended for intentionally wrecking Ty Dillon at Circuit of the Americas. Harvick has been vocal about wanting NASCAR to have clear rules when it comes to intentional wrecking, especially when it involves hitting another car's quarter panel. He pointed out that both Bubba Wallace and Chase Elliott received one-race suspensions for similar incidents in the past. He and others feel that NASCAR's decision not to suspend Cindric is inconsistent and unfair. During a discussion on FS1 before the NASCAR race in Phoenix, Harvick strongly criticized NASCAR's ruling. He said that given the risks of injury in the current next-gen car, there should be no debate on these types of incidents. He stressed that whether a driver is moving at 35 miles per hour or 135 miles per hour, the rule should be the same. He argued that Cindric should have been suspended just like Wallace and Elliott were in previous cases. Harvick was frustrated that NASCAR did not follow what seemed to be their own standard for similar situations. The incident at Circuit of the Americas involved Cindric hitting Dillon in the right rear quarter panel, which is known as hooking another driver. This type of move is dangerous because it can send a car spinning out of control, potentially leading to serious crashes. Harvick called it a cheap shot and said it was obvious that Cindric did it intentionally. He made it clear that he does not approve of that kind of driving and that Cindric got away with one this time. Kevin called it an awful call and said that decisions like this should be black and white. Harvick pointed out that because of how head injuries work in NASCAR today, drivers need to be extra careful. He felt that Cindric should have been suspended instead of just receiving a fine and points deduction. Harvick also raised another issue: consistency. He argued that if NASCAR did not suspend Cindric, then it could create problems in the future. If another driver does something similar and gets suspended, people will ask why Cindric was not suspended for his actions. This kind of inconsistency can lead to more controversies down the road. Harvick believes that NASCAR missed the mark on this decision. Harvick also warned that if NASCAR does not stay consistent with its penalties, it will create more problems in the future. He pointed out that if NASCAR suspends another driver for the same type of move in the future, people will bring up this case and question why Cindric was not punished the same way. He said this lack of consistency makes it difficult for drivers to know what to expect when it comes to penalties. Jamie McMurray agreed with Harvick. He explained that NASCAR defended their decision by saying that the incident happened on a road course at lower speeds and did not bring out a caution. However, McMurray disagreed with that logic. He said that intent is intent, no matter the speed or the type of track. He argued that if a driver hooks another car, they should be suspended for a race. Hendrick declined an interview with Fox Sports about the situation, which left many wondering about his side of the story. Ty Dillon also expected Cindric to receive a suspension. He was at least happy that NASCAR gave some sort of penalty, but he felt they could have done more. Dillon talked about the dangers of being hit in the way that he was. He explained that in safety meetings, they watch videos showing what happens when a car sitting still gets hit at high speed. Those crashes can be devastating. Dillon was lucky that no other cars hit him after Cindric spun him out. He said NASCAR needs to be stricter with penalties to prevent dangerous situations like this from happening again. Dillon also acknowledged that making these calls is not easy for NASCAR, but he believes they need to set a better standard. He thinks NASCAR needs to make sure Cindric knows he cannot do something like that again, especially to him. He emphasized that safety should come first and that penalties should be consistent so that drivers know the consequences of their actions. Many drivers and fans believe that NASCAR needs to establish a clear rule for intentional wrecking. If drivers like Bubba Wallace and Chase Elliott received one race suspensions for similar moves, then Cindric should have received the same punishment. Otherwise, it sends the message that NASCAR's rules are not applied equally to all drivers. The problem with not having a strict rule is that it allows for too much subjectivity. If NASCAR makes a different decision for every incident, drivers will not know what to expect. Some might feel like they can get away with certain moves, while others feel like they're being treated unfairly. And this creates frustration among drivers and fans alike. There is also the safety issue to consider. The next-gen car has been known to have safety concerns, especially when it comes to head injuries. When a driver gets hooked into the wall or spun around at high speed, it increases the risk of serious crashes. NASCAR has been trying to improve safety over the years, but inconsistent penalties do not help. If drivers do not fear getting suspended for these types of moves, they might continue to take dangerous risks on the track. Another factor in this debate is how penalties impact the teams. Losing points and getting fined, like Cindric did, is a punishment, but a suspension has a much bigger impact. A one-race suspension means a team has to find a backup driver, which can disrupt their performance and standings. This is why consistency is important. If one driver gets a suspension for a similar move, all drivers should get the same penalty. Kyle Busch has always been a driver who speaks his mind, and once again, he has done just that. This time, he is calling for a big change in how NASCAR hands out penalties and how new drivers get approved to race. His comments came after the recent controversy involving Austin Cindric. Busch has been involved in NASCAR for a long time, both as a driver and a former team owner. Over the years, he has seen how new drivers get approved for different tracks. According to him, the process does not make sense. Some young drivers get permission to race on certain tracks while others do not. Even when he was trying to get his own drivers approved in the Truck Series, he saw the inconsistency firsthand. He believes that the people making these decisions, though ones in suits and ties, do not always understand racing the way drivers do. And that is why he wants more experienced drivers, the ones in fire suits, to be involved in making these important calls. Busch also thinks that the same problem exists when it comes to penalties. He believes that penalties should not just be handed down by NASCAR officials. Instead, other drivers should have a say in what punishments are given. This came up after the Cindric incident, which many drivers, including Busch and Denny Hamlin, felt was not handled correctly. Cindric was penalized for making a move that many saw as intentional. During the race at Circuit of the Americas, he hooked Ty Dillon's car, causing an incident that NASCAR determined was dangerous. And because of that, NASCAR fined him and took away 50 points. But not everyone agreed with that decision. Some thought it was too harsh, while others believed it wasn't harsh enough. Busch thinks that a driver's peers should be involved in making these penalty decisions instead of just NASCAR officials. Joey Logano also had thoughts on the approval process. He agreed that safety is a big concern, not just for new drivers, but also for the ones who race every week. Logano suggested that there should be more structure in the way drivers get approved. For example, a driver should have to complete certain types of races before being allowed to compete in a Cup Series race. At the same time, he acknowledged it. Each situation is different, so there should still be some flexibility. Some might argue that intentional wrecking on a high-speed oval is more dangerous than on a road course, but others believe that the rules should be the same, no matter the track, because intent is what matters most. Now, don't hesitate to comment down your thoughts on this. And while you're down there, make sure you smash the subscribe button for more